Well, BC's forestry sector needs to undergo major structural changes to survive, according to a new report released today in partnership with the BC Greens. For more on this, let's bring in Rob Shaw at the BC Legislature. Rob, what can you tell us about this report?
Well, April, this 6-month review of forestry, part of the deal between the NDP government when the Greens for support last year, has come back with recommendations for wholesale change, basically to shift forestry from what we would call volume-based cutting to an area-based land management plan, or basically from how many trees we can cut down to where and how. Two forestry experts, Gary Merkel and Shannon Jansen, have set out this 5-year plan to get the sector out of the current chaos of mill closures and layoffs like we saw at Crofton last month, basically removing, in their idea, a lot of forestry decisions from the politics of the government of the day back to the community level. A simple sounding shift to a system that still dates back to 1912. Here's the panel today.
It's very clear across the board that there's an immense level of frustration, that we're missing opportunities, and that we're being stuck in this unsustainable status quo when we all need to move forward. We can't keep doing the same thing and expect different results.
We believe this is the path to stability and to get us out of this kind of dishwasher continuous spin cycle, whatever you want to call it.
So the panel recommending laser modeling, a new public forest database so everyone, not just forest companies, has data on the trees, an independent body or bodies to oversee that forestry inventory, high-value old growth and transitions, and most importantly, regional forest management areas, the crux of all of this, where everyone from First Nations to local officials and companies get together to make decisions on what to cut, and not the BC government deciding that. Those regional areas would replace the current timber supply reviews, and they would reframe the annual allowable cut to better reflect actual reality, according to this review. They also suggest reforming BC timber sales, which auctions off wood, and new urban interface management zones for wildfire management as well. Now, Forest Minister Ravi Parmar only today committing to study the issue. The opposition Conservative critic Ward Stamer saying this does nothing to address the core issues of today, fiber supply and closures. And while BC is making some changes here, they wouldn't be reinventing the wheel. Alberta and Ontario have versions of this community planning. It's just our system is uniquely old and no longer meets the modern era, according to the report authors. Now, you might be saying, hey, another forestry review? We've had almost 60 of those since the NDP took power. That is true. The most recent reforms, the Premier's forest landscape planning table, is only one of 15 of those is done after 3 years. The old growth deferrals, most of those aren't done after 5 years. This review has a 5-year timeline, April, and even the authors basically admit it's not going to help anyone right now. But I guess the question in BC is, will it be helping anyone to just keep going down the path the forest sector is going down? A big question for government about a potential change here.